It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between NFC North rivals. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So the Packers make their way out for the first time, and it's Jordan Love that has the keys to the car here in his 5th season as a pro and 2nd as a starter.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential, and he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. Brandon Powell deep from Minnesota. This is taken at the 18. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way out behind their former number 3 overall pick, who spent his last year as a 49er. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Devontae Wyatt there for the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and 10. They'll go again to Jones. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And that last penalty makes this third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Here's Darnold. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. .42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now we'll get a timeout as they tend to an injured player, and looks like that's their receiver, Christian Watson. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw now, here's Love. Over the middle, complete. That's Reed. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So the big gain, all for naught for the offense. That yellow flag is going to bring it back.
Oh, what a tough look for the offense, because they see all that yardage lost and that ball's walked back and then some behind the original line of scrimmage.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 24. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jaden Reed from 10 yards out. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Seven 0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now it's Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
Oh, Darnold loses it, and the Packers pick it up. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down. Love now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. To throw is Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's Darnold. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Love. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but there, first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. after the interception. Here's Darnold. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Now a 2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Now Love. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7.
Love, they go play action now.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. Oh, the return is Powell.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Now Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Back to throw, Darnold.
It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Darnold. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Running right, Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Off of play action, Darnold.
There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings.
10 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Vikings are back within a score. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now the try here for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Counter play with Jacobs. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Throwing. Love. This pass complete to Melton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Love. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Completes it again to Dobbs. Second down and 3. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Love looking to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Touchdown, Packers! A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Packers are able to extend their lead.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jordan Addison in the offense out for another drive.
He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll look to throw here. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll set up to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To the air again, Darnold. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO, what's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. They blitzed there, but to be honest, I don't know if it would have mattered had they blitzed or not. That run play was going nowhere.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult at times to figure out where that defense is coming from. But if you're committed to running the football, you can get people up on those linebackers, right? Those guards don't have to block anyone at the line of scrimmage. They can get up to the second level and create some space.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Love from the gun on third down. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. Love now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reed. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Play action this time with Love. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On play action, Love to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Darnold now to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 16 more on that one and another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
To throw is Darnold. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Again, Darnold. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Darnold. That is caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Trent Sherfield, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. A try here for the extra point. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Final play of the half. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And able to get this out to the 25. The Vikings offense and Sam Darnold headed back out there. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Now Darnold. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Back to throw, Darnold. Dancing to his left. Powers through. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Darnold. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They go back to the ground with Jones. Down to the 25. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He gets it to Addison. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is right through. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packers offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The drive will start with an option going left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 9 here.
To throw now. Here's Love. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Vikings offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete here.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll try the right side with Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
A give to Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Darnold. And this will be incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And here we go on 4th. Darnold steps away to his left. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Jones will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. They go I formation, fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Play fake. Here's Love. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Play action this time with Love. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Here's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. The give is to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's Lucas Van Ness there to drop him behind the line.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
To throw is Darnold. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Up the middle, Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now it's Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now Jones. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Man in motion is Sherfield. On 4th down, Darnold. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And can they take advantage? Their defense got the 4th down stop, but now they're hoping to find the end zone. A field goal wouldn't be enough to erase this fourth quarter deficit. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Love from the gun on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here's Powell on the return. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Play action. It's Darnold. He's got a man. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Darnold. His throw incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Back to throw, Darnold. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run it with Jones. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. On play action. Love to throw. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Love, they go play action now. And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Working out of the gun. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17. Into the red zone. 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Love now. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers have taken a 4th quarter lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter, and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Darnold. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Darnold now to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They'll come up 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, They have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Now Jones. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. To throw now. Here's Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a 1-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a 1st down.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his 1st drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Love. That's taken in by Watson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Love. Throw left side is complete to Reed. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's Love. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Love looking to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Reed. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reed. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 1st and goal. Love. He's got it. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
McManus's point after is good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. For the Vikings offense, and Justin Jefferson set to take over once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show, as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. This is 1st and 10. Darnold to throw. That's caught by Addison. And he will get out of bounds here to stop the clock, but not a huge pickup there. 6, maybe 7. Here comes 2nd down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. Eluding the pressure right. And they will get the conversion on 4th down to stay alive, but time, not an ally. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Darnold. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.